Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigerverse. It is Niger once again. So, the Hall of Fame is right around the corners as we are nearing WrestleMania weekend. The Hall of Fame is going to be taking place, obviously, during the WrestleMania weekend. It's a very much a WrestleMania weekend tradition, and so now is about the time where several names get named to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. And so far, at least the time it's recording, I'm recording this Monday night. So far, Triple H and Michelle McCool have been named to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. However, some names will obviously continue to pour in. Some speculate that Demolition might go in the Hall of Fame. I mentioned it on my System Shock Radio episode that I just uploaded. Well, this video is gonna be going up on Wednesday, but by the time this goes up, System Shock Radio should be up. So if you haven't already, go check out that episode. I kind of touched on it briefly, but with the names going into the Hall of Fame, the ones that we know about and the ones that are to come. This is around the time where a lot of people speculate who can and will go into the Hall of Fame. And a name that a lot of people bring up as to whether or not he should go in the Hall of Fame is Jim Johnston. Now, Jim Johnston is very iconic. The music composer for a lot of legendary WWE tracks. So a lot of people will speculate, should Jim Johnston finally get the Hall of Fame induction honor? And my response to that is 1,000% absolutely. When you think of WWE music, one of the people that comes to mind, well, technically there's two people that probably come to mind when you think of like iconic WWE themes. The first being Jimmy Hart, because he did a lot of the legendary tracks as well, especially during the earlier days of the WWF. But the other major name that comes to mind is Jim Johnston. Jim Johnston had been an employee in WWE for a while, creating some of the most iconic, legendary themes of not just my generation, but had plenty of other generations. Themes such as Stone Cold Steve Austin, or The Undertaker, or even and later on with themes such as like The Shield, or even Ryback. Say what you want about him as a person, and say what you want about him as a wrestler, but he definitely had a fantastic theme, in my opinion. But Jim Johnston is someone who a lot of people have enjoyed the music of creating such timeless tracks that live on in WWE history. Music is such a big part of a wrestler's entrance, and I think Def Rebel and some of their not so great tracks have definitely proven that. But Jim Johnston has nailed it. Not everything was perfect, but nobody bats 1,000. But Jim Johnston creating such legendary themes. A lot of people have asked the question, and why isn't he in the WWE Hall of Fame? Why hasn't he gone in? Why hasn't he been recognized? And you know what? That's a very good question. Now, like I said, this being recorded Monday night, it's going to go up on Wednesday. Hey, there's a very good chance that in the interim, Jim Johnston could very much be named for the Hall of Fame, and thus render this video essentially moot. But for now, him not being in the Hall of Fame is pretty is not surprising, but kind of disappointing, because such an impact that he's made. The fact that he was with the company for so long, he got let go when WWE brought on CFO Dollar Sign. Now CFO Dollar Sign, they started off not producing, like they started off with some not so great hits before they also put in their fair share of awesome theme songs. Later on in the year, her CFO Dollar Sign is pretty much goated for that. They managed to turn the ship around, but the fact that Jim Johnston isn't in, and now Jimmy Hart is in. I mentioned Jimmy Hart. He's in, and mainly not just for mainly for like the managerial side of things. Of course, the legendary manager is Jimmy Hart, but also worth mentioning his musical contributions as well. But a lot of people feel that the same honor should be given to Jim Johnston, and as I mentioned, completely agree. The fact that he isn't in and is really disappointing. So I wonder if he'll finally be recognized for his contributions now that we are in the Triple H era. Not everything is orchids and honey, but or milk and honey, I guess, but or either one, whichever floats your boat. But I think having Jim Johnston finally be able to go in, finally get that recognition would be huge for him. Now, out of all the names that are potentially go in the Hall of Fame, Jim Johnston it is one that a lot of people definitely don't think of. They mainly think of it from the wrestler point of view and or from the wrestler standpoint, and obviously there's nothing wrong with that. But I think Jim Johnston getting the honor of being in the Hall of Fame and finally he being recognized for his contributions would be pretty epic. Like I said, we probably wouldn't have a lot of our iconic hits if it wasn't for Jim Johnston, and I think like I said, Def Rebel has definitely proven that and it's probably like seeing some more recent stuff like the Judgment Day's new theme. It's a wonder that I wonder why WWE is probably not gonna continue their contract with Def Rebel after it expires. I'm not sure when their contract expires. With WWE when their contract with Def Rebel expires. If they manage to somehow get WWE to renew it, I'm gonna be pretty shocked because now it's to the point where even a lot of WWE superstars are unhappy with their Def Rebel themes. Like the thing is, and I don't want to turn this into a full-on Def Rebel rant, and especially because I kind of did that already not too long ago on System Shock Radio. But like Def Rebel, they've proven they're capable of good theme songs before, or they're capable of producing good theme songs. The Bloodline got some good theme songs. AJ Styles, even though it wasn't the OG goated one, at least in WWE, his was pretty decent. The Judgment Day, as individual members, got some pretty good theme songs. Why can't you guys do that all the time? But nevertheless, like I said, not here to rant about Def Rebel. We're here to talk about Jim Johnston, and I definitely think Jim Johnston should go in the Hall of Fame. If not this class, then consider it for next year. Now, a lot of the inductions come down to whether or not both sides can reach an agreement, and there may be a chance Jim Johnston doesn't want to go in, and that's very much a possibility. But if he's game for it, I'm sure a lot of people would be very happy and very excited to have Jim Johnston finally hit his due. But in the meantime, until that happens, and we will wait and see. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Kind of on the shorter side when it comes to videos, but nothing wrong with that. But I hope you enjoyed, nevertheless. And if you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comments below, do you think Jim Johnston should go in the WWE Hall of Fame? Let me know. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.